What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's doing well. Today we're going to talk about backtesting. I'm going to explain what backtesting is, how you can backtest, and that if you're not backtesting, you are missing out and you're going to get left behind. Number one, what exactly is backtesting? Backtesting is essentially using past market data to test your strategy. It's as simple as that. There are softwares like FX Replay that give you the access to past market data so you can use your strategy as you would in the real-time market. Backtesting enables you to look at your strategy, break it down, understand what is going wrong, where you should enter, where you should not enter, and it gives you a lot of analytics about your trading. I have nearly 30 hours of backtesting data for my strategy. This means I'm confident going into the live market because I know where to enter, where not to enter, what to avoid, what to risk, and overall, I'm just more confident in my strategy. Anyway, let's hop onto the computer and I'm going to show you how to backtest and the best software, in my opinion, that you can use. So the first thing you want to do is head to fxreplay.com. This is the backtesting software I like to use, as well as millions of other people. In my opinion, the analytics, the chart layout, and also the fact that it uses TradingView is just perfect for me. It gives you a massive breakdown of everything you need to know about your trading in order to become the best and the most confident in your strategy. Now, have a read through this if you want to. If not, head to the top right hand corner and click Try Now. It's obviously going to give you a login screen, but when I click Try Now, it's just going to put me straight into my account. So when we click that, it's going to give you this screen. Now, obviously, like I said, yours is going to be very empty. You're going to have no time invested, no time data, nothing. So don't be scared about that. But this is basically what you're going to see. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown on everything you can do on the software, and you're basically good to go. It's really self-explanatory, really easy to use, and again, this is why I love FX Replay. Before everything else, let's go in the bottom right-hand corner to New Session. The first thing you want to do is name your session. So in my opinion, I would name your session the strategy you use as well as the asset you're going to trade. So for example, I like to trade P03 and I like to trade NQ, which is the NASDAQ, and also I'll probably date it. So today is the 5th of July. So that just makes sure that, say in 6 months' time, you know exactly when you started this session and just keeps it nice and organized. The account balance, I would set this, if you're planning to buy a funded account, if you're planning to buy an eval or whatever, I would set this to whatever you're going to buy. So I wouldn't set this to like a 250k if you're only going to be trading at 50k. Does that make sense? So let's say you're buying a 25k account. Bang, there we go. The next is asset. So this is what you're going to be trading. Like I said, I trade NASDAQ, so I'm going to put a NAS. It's very important that if you're going to be trading with two assets and you want to find confluences, for example, an SMT between two assets, you need to select them both here. So for me, it'll be the NASDAQ and also the S&P 500. So make sure you select them both there. Chart layout, you won't have anything, so ignore that. Initial date, this is from when you're going to be trading from. So usually what I like to do is go a whole year past or a whole year back in time. So if we go to the 5th of July, let's just do the Monday, so the starting week, and let's do the last weekend, so the 30th of June. That just gives you then a nice big chunk of time in order to backtest your strategy. And that is pretty much it for the setup of the session. That's all you need to worry about. So what we're going to do is click Create a Session. And it's going to load down here. Now, this is your session. To enter the session, just click on the left-hand play button just there. Now, when you're in your charts will not look like this. You'll have a default color, which you can easily change by going right-clicking on the chart, clicking Settings, and going through here on Body Colors, and then also Canvas. So if you're used to TradingView, you'll know exactly what this is. But if not, have a flick through here and customize it how you want. On the left-hand side, you have your tools, you have indicators, bar types, etc. Again, if you use TradingView, you know exactly what this is. This little bar here is essentially the time skipper. So if you press play here, time is going to skip through slowly. Amending this slider here will change the speed in which your time flicks through. So if we click that, it's now going to whiz through super fast. Here's your time frame. So this is the time frame it's going to skip through. Now you want to make sure that this little green box is ticked. Otherwise, when you skip through, it's not going to be on the time frame that you're currently on. Let me show you. So for example, we're on the 15-minute time frame in the top left. If we press play now, it's going to skip through in the 1 minute time frame. So it's very important to have this green box ticked. So now when you change time frames, so 1 minute, see it changes. So it now means that the time skip and the time frame is linked. If I do 5 minute, you see? So make sure that is ticked. Another really good tip, if you want to skip through quick, which I highly recommend, you want to click Control and Spacebar. That'll essentially mean you can have a lot more control over when and where you skip. So you can just stop at any time. You can do 1 bar at a time. It just makes it so you don't have to click, tricking and clicking. Okay, but how exactly do you enter a trade when you're backtesting? The best way I like to do it is if you hit your position tool here, and say you want to enter a trade, your stop loss is under there and you want to target up here, for example. What you want to do is click on the tool, go up to the top here where it says place order, and that'll essentially drag your data from the chart into this little place order box. And from there, all you have to do is click save and journal. What that's going to do is bring up a new window. This is your journal. Do not close this, just click off it, just like that. You don't want to close it. So now you're in a trade, your stop loss is set, your take profit is set. All you need to do now is click through and wait for your trade to hit TP or stop loss, whatever it might be. So let me just skip through this quickly. Okay, TP hit, which is lovely. So now you've got your TP, you've got your traders hit take profit. You can see the bottom right down here. You have your realized P&L, you have account balance, and then you have your unrealized. Unrealized means that it currently hasn't closed. So obviously my trade is just closed, so it's realized. So this down here is your account balance and P&L. But let's go back to the journal. So you want to bring up the journal screen again. And this essentially brings in the data from your trade into this little journal. So if you click add screenshot, it's going to take a screenshot of the current chart. So say you've got a load of drawings on here. You've got your entry, you've got, I don't know, some bloody blah. If you then take a screenshot of that, it's going to drag through all your drawings, which is perfect. This makes it sure that when you're checking your journal in 2 weeks' time, you know exactly why you entered, how you entered, and the things you did. So checklist, you can make checklists on the home screen. I'm not going to go through that, but have a look at it if you want to. Tags as well, if you want to tag it as a good trade, bad trade, etc., you can do that as well. Confidence level, how confident were you in your trade? If you're 100% confident, go for it. Trade rating, how much would you rate this trade out of 5? So you just put that. All this is tracked in your journal, so it's really handy to make sure that you stay on top of this. And notes. In here, I would put things like good trade, nice timing. You want to go into detail of why you entered, how you think the market reacted, why it reacted in that way, etc., etc. Okay? So that's what you need to do there. I'll go into detail in your journal because say in 2 weeks' time you want to check this. You want to know exactly why you entered, how you entered, what you did right, what you did wrong. So even here you could put should have entered earlier, bad stop loss. Go into detail, okay, because it's going to help you in the long run. Then you can click save and it's going to go into your journal. So this is Tuesday the 4th of June and I'll show you how you can access this later on. And that is essentially it. There are other ways to enter a trade, but I'm not going to go into that because that's not how I use the software. I think the way I use it is the most important and the easiest. Now, that is how to enter a trade. That is the very basics of this interface. If you want to have 2 charts, you click here. Yours will be like this. If you want to have 2 charts, you just click the second one down, just like that. So that's your second asset from earlier, which I said, if you chose it. Okay, that is how to place a trade, how to backtest. Now back onto this screen, this is essentially all of your data from all of your sessions. So it's not just the one session. If you want to check one session, you come down to your session at the bottom and you click the 3rd button in, which is this little graph. This will show you the data for that exact session, okay? So it'll go through things like your P&L, your risk to reward, wins and losses, buys and sells, etc. So this is super important. And as I said earlier, here is your journal. So if you click on a trade, okay, that doesn't seem to be working. which is great. But on the right hand side here, you've got your journal as well. So as you can see, here's the session, here's the trade that we took. If you click on open, we have all of the data which we put in earlier. So this is why it's good to go into detail. So you've got your notes, you've got the entry price, you've got the stop loss, etc. So this is why it's really important. And it should be coming up on the session. I'm not sure why it is, but essentially if you click here, it should bring up a little window on the right hand side of your exact trades. Maybe it's because it's the first one, I don't know. But anyway, I think that wraps up the very basics of FX Replay. You can obviously go into more detail. You can upgrade your account to have more hours, etc. I'd recommend the basic account is fine for now. This is a sign for you to start backtesting. If you're not backtesting your strategy, you're going to be left behind. There's thousands of other traders that are going to be backtesting their strategy day in, day out. As I said earlier, I've got over 30 hours in just this one strategy. This ensures my confidence in the live market is as high as it can be. I know exactly what to look for, where to not trade, and exactly where to trade. I hope this video has been helpful. If it has, drop me a subscribe, drop me a comment, drop me a like, and there'll be more videos in the future. See you later.